Hi friends, and welcome back to Word Study. Today is your final video to watch before break, so hopefully you've had a fantastic week and you're really excited to take some time off and just hang with your family. All right, let's get started. Word of the day, word of the day, word of the day, word of the day, word of the day. All right, the word of the day is temporary. Let's see if we can figure out what it is based on the context of this sentence. This is only a temporary job until I find a permanent one that I can stay at for a long time. Think about what you're seeing and noticing in the sentence. Think about what temporary might mean. All right. Well, when I look at the sentence, I see, okay, this is temporary until I find a permanent one. And I know permanent means that you can stay there for a really long time. So temporary must mean something that's not permanent and just for a short time. That's right. And temporary means lasting for only a short amount of time. So if I say this is a temporary solution, it means it's just a solution for a little bit of time. If I say I'm going to live in a house temporarily, it means I'm not going to stay there for a long time. It's just for right now. We'll come back to it later. All right. We are going to continue our work on finding mistakes and building sentences. I notice a lot of us are confused about how to build sentences, so we're going to spend a lot of time on that. But first, we're going to figure out how to find mistakes and fix them in sentences. Again, this is a really important skill to use when you're editing your own work before you give it to your teacher. You want to look back in the sentence and make sure that it makes sense when you read it out loud, because that's a great way to do. All right, let's start with fixing mistakes. Number one says, Miss Cashin teach me how to use my words. What is the wrong word in that sentence? The wrong word is teach. That word should be taught because taught is the irregular past tense of teached. Remember, an irregular past tense verb is a verb that's in the past tense that does not end in ed. Some examples are taught and bought and built and bought. Did I say that twice? I'm sorry. Hit. All right, number two. They fighted at recess. They fighted at recess. What would be a better word than fighted? What is the past tense of fight? They fought at recess. Notice how I'm only including the new word I need. When you're fixing sentences, you don't need to rewrite the entire thing. You just need to write the correct word. The bunnies is playing. Bunnies is playing. This sentence has two incorrect parts, so see if you can figure it out now. The bunnies is playing. Well, I know that when there's a consonant before the Y, I have to drop the Y and add IES. So the first mistake is that it should be bunnies. But when I say that sentence again, the bunnies is playing, it sounds wrong to me. I wonder if that's because is singular and bunnies is plural. It won't be the bunnies is playing, it'd be the bunny is playing. But if I have multiple bunnies, what would be the right verb? The bunnies are playing. So that one had two mistakes. Let's see if we can find this one ourselves. When I was 7, I ate lots of potatoes. When I was 7, I ate lots of potatoes. What's the first mistake in that sentence? What sounds wrong? Is, because is in the present tense, and I'm talking about something that happened a long time ago when I was 7, because was is in the past tense, and I'm talking about something that is not true right now. When I was 7, I ate lots of potatoes. Do you see the other mistake in this? It's a homophone. That way that we spelled 8 with EIGHT, that's the number 8. So this should be 8, ATE, 8, because I'm not talking about the number of potatoes I eat. I'm talking about the verb eat. Next year, Oh, excuse me. Sorry, guys. Next year, I ate a bagel every single day. Hmm, sounds like a good goal, but what's wrong with that sentence? Next year, I ate a bagel every single day. Well, ate is in the past tense, and I know that that would mean it already happened. But this says next year, and that talks about something that is going to happen. So, what can I write? Next year, I ate a bagel every single day. Next year, I eat a bagel every single day? No. Next year, I will eat because it's the future tense of eat. And that matches the context of the rest of the sentence, which starts with next year. Now, this is where a lot of you guys had a little bit of trouble. You're getting really good at saying sentences, which is awesome. But building sentences seem to be a little bit harder. The most important thing to do there is to make sure that you are um, figuring out what part of speech you need to add and then coming up with a sentence on your own. So it's not just coming up with words, it's coming up with putting words and then putting them together to make a sentence. So I know a homophone is any word that sounds exactly like another word, but it's spelled differently and means something else. Some examples of that are would and would, be and be, see and see. We've gone over a bunch of them. And I know a singular noun is a noun where there's only one. So all I need in this sentence is to have one homophone and one singular noun. Let's see what I can do. Hmm. Well, I know one of my homophones is see, like to see something, or SEA, and I only need to include one. I'm going to talk about the see. And then I need a singular noun. That means just one thing. So I'll say, I brought my friend to the sea. See is my homophone, and the singular noun is friend. But that's not the only sentence I could write. I can use any homophone at all. I can say, I ate cake on my birthday because ate is a homophone and cake is a singular noun. It doesn't matter which one you pick. It just matters that you're able to figure out what part of speech you need to come up with. All right. Common noun, irregular past tense. Now, common noun is a noun that is not specific. A proper noun answers the question which, like which orange juice? Tropicana. Which college? Cornell. Which teacher? Miss Cashin. Which city? Boston. All of those answer the question which. But a common noun is just something that's not specific, like sweatshirt, college, teacher, nose. It doesn't tell you exactly which it is. So a common noun could be pretty much any noun that's not specific. And a regular past tense verb is a verb that you can't just add ed to. My favorite is bought because I think it's fun to go BOUGHT. So I can say, I bought a dog. Bought is my regular past tense verb. And then the common noun is a dog because I didn't tell you what kind of dog I bought rather. Another irregular past tense verb would be taught. I taught a kid. I didn't tell you which kid, so it's still a common noun. Okay. So today I'm going to make sure that I'm looking really carefully on your building sentences. Remember, it doesn't matter which specific words, sorry, I'm going to say something. It doesn't matter which specific words you choose. It just matters that you're coming up with the parts of speech in your brain and you're able to come up with sentences. All right. Irregular past tense verbs are verbs that already happened, but you can't just add ed. Past tense of ring is rang. The phone rang 6 times before my mom answered it. Past tense of rise is rose. I rose above the criticism. That means you like stand up above it or you got up. You could say the congregation rose, like everyone in church stood up. Past tense of see is saw. Jack saw all my Nutella disappear. That is a true story. Past tense of sell is sold. I sold 6 houses yesterday. Not a true story. Past tense of send is sent. Mr. Scott sent a thank you note to Mr. Gilbert. Past tense of shake is shook. I can't believe Franny shook the president's hand. Past tense of shine is shone. The light shone brightly. And the past tense, oh, that's it. So now we have to figure out a sentence for ring and a sentence for send. Let's check ring first. What's the past tense of ring? Rang. Hmm, what can I write this about one of you? Ian rang his friend's doorbell because the past tense of ring isn't ringed, it's rang. What's the past of send, tense of send? Sent. Like Mr. Scott sent a thank you note to Mr. Gilbert. What could we do with sent? Hmm. Action sent a letter to Siri to shout him out. True story. All right, those are your new irregular past tense verbs. Bear with me for 1 second. I want to show you what some awesome sentences were that kids came up with on word study yesterday. So let me pull those up. Okay, David did a really, really great job with this. This sentence needed a past tense irregular verb. I'm sorry, it needed a homophone and a proper noun. So he said, I ate, past tense, at Burger King, proper noun. And the next one needed a homophone and a past tense verb. He said he will need his room. He will need his room blue and blew the candle. Doesn't really make sense, but still has everything you needed. Next one needed a plural verb and a plural noun and a present tense verb. Cakes are baking, and I looked into my brother's eyes. Nice job, David. Another person that had a really clear work for these tricky ones is Noemi. So shout out to you as well, my friend. Um, all right. She even did it right in typing. Past tense verb and homophone. I ate big blue cake. Blue is homophone. Past tense verb is ate. Present tense verb and plural noun. I write in my diaries I got from Target. Now, diaries, no M, you should have dropped the and add IES, but she has a plural noun, a present tense verb, and a proper noun. Nice job. Okay, so shout out to Noemi and David for their nice, clear work. Remember, when you're doing this work, you're coming up with complete sentences, but the sentences can be about anything you want as long as they have the parts of speech that I mentioned in the questions. All right, set up your paper for dictation. I'll give you 1 second. Get ready. I raised the bunny by feeding it cookies. I raised the bunny by feeding it cookies. I raised the bunny by feeding it cookies. All right, team. Nice job. Have a great weekend and a good break.